Can we nerd this up just a little bit? There you go. ASM, number 5. Oh, that's much better. A comic book background fitting of an unboxing video. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video, Swagglehos. And in this one, we got ourselves a Golden Age key unboxing to share with you guys here today. I am behind on my unboxing videos. And actually, I wanted to open this one up on 4th of July, but then I missed the window. It would have been a timely unboxing video, but I forgot to do it, or I didn't have time to do it. And so now it feels like the longer I go, the more like unfitting it is for, you know, the theme of the holiday, whatever. So this is going to be a belated 4th of July unboxing video. And while I am excited to share this one with you guys here today, it is a lower grade comic book. And I do sort of wonder if sometimes buying lower grade can be risky. So in this video, we're going to talk about why that might be the case. But of course, before I get into it, if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, I appreciate it. Helps for the channel doing those things. But let us get into this unboxing here today. There you guys to see it. I already did the unboxing. A little bit of transparency with you guys here. You know, first world problems, YouTuber problems. Whenever I buy comic books now, I always feel like, oh, well, I have to make a video about it and I have to unbox it. But the problem with that is that, you know, it takes time and effort to make the videos. And so sometimes I have like boxes that are just piled up because I'm waiting to open them to just film and do the unboxing. And I get impatient. You know, it's like having Christmas presents and it's not Christmas Day. And so what I actually do now is I unbox them. I unbox them and I look at them and I hold them and I cherish it. And then before I film, I put it back in the box and I pretend like I just opened it up.
Move this man!
This is a Golden Age key comic that I've had my eye on for quite a while. I did want to get a higher grade copy, but when this one rolled around, I felt like this was probably going to be a good entry level, a good buy-in for this particular book because the cover looks so nice. And of course, the book I'm talking about is this timely comic book, Captain America number 37, the classic flag cover, as some people like to call it. Beautiful Alex Schomburg cover from 1944. Look at that thing. Captain America dropping the bomb on the Nazi soldiers with Bucky, torching them with a flamethrower. You got the Nazi flag right there. Wait, left hand. Nazi flag right there, you know, getting toppled over by the American flag. And yeah, a beautiful copy of this book. Great, timely World War II cover. Probably one of the best Captain America covers that there is in this particular run. At least one of the most desirable ones in terms of, value, what people like to have. Everybody wants a Schomburg cover. Everybody wants, a dynamic, pose or whatever's going on, like especially in those specific years that are World War II. We're talking like 1940 through 44. That's kind of the year window that you want to be in. And then, you're looking for him specifically taking on Nazis. The ones where he's fighting the Japanese soldiers typically aren't as, desirable. And when I say desirable, I mean, typically they're not as valuable. So secondary market value. So these covers that have, him fighting the Nazis, that are done by Schomburg, that are of the era where he's doing World War II fighting, these are the ones that tend to be the hottest on the market. And for that reason, I had to still pay $2,000 for this 0.5 copy. Now, what is wrong with this book? It says a centerfold missing affects the story. Cover detached, tape on cover, interior cover incomplete. So this is one of those books where the centerfold is missing, but the cover itself, as you guys can see, presents great. I mean, when I look at the cover, it looks like a 3.0 to 4.0, just cover-wise, cover presentation. Here's the back right here. Babe Ruth. Candy makes delicious cookies. But still a beautiful comic book, one that I'm super, super excited to have in my collection. I had been eyeing a couple other ones. There was one of these copies that was a 3.0 that sold on Comic Link, and I did want to buy, and actually made a video about this. I messed up. Every time I go on Comic Link, I always mess up the bidding process. There was one time when I tried to bid and I forgot how the bidding function worked, meaning you had to put your max bid in. I thought it was going to be like Heritage that would reset. I just had a brain fart. Another time my computer crashed when I was bidding. I didn't make a video about that, but I wanted to buy Captain America #3. I was going to buy it, and I totally failed. And I was really, really sad. But was able to land this one on Heritage Auctions. Still a beautiful presenting copy, maybe one that I can upgrade, maybe one that I can find a centerfold for. Maybe do a little bit of a project, put this book together. What do you guys think about that? Have you guys ever done married centerfolds for books? Do you guys think that that's better? Should I just keep the book in its blue label form, even at a 0.5? Let me know what you guys think. But there it is. That was going to be my unboxing on 4th of July to celebrate Captain America, independence and all that sort of stuff. But I never got around to making the video. But here we are. Another cool thing is that when I did buy this book, I got this right here. They sent me a centerfold. Isn't that kind of cool? It's a reprint of a centerfold. You can see that it's just photo paper. But there you go. This is the story that I'm missing. Red Skull yelling at a bunch of soldiers. Kind of a nice splash page, actually. This would be kind of cool to find this this photo. So it is a pretty cool splash page that is missing from the book, which is maybe a little bit disappointing. But hey, most people get this thing for the cover, and I'm still happy to add it to my collection. Now, before I give you guys a little last look, I did want to talk about low grades overall and sort of say, was this a bad buy? Is it sometimes risky to buy low grade comic books? Well, let's talk about it for a second and let me show you guys what I mean. So here it is right here, Captain America #37, 72 universal copies on the census. There is 194, a couple, mid-grade ones here. Down here at the bottom though, you see 0.5 have 8 on the census. Now you guys can see my last buy right here, which was 1980. But one of the things you always have to consider when you're buying at this sort of low of grade, if I ever go to resell this book, and let's say that I have it listed, I want 1980 or I want it at 2200. The delta for the value actually becomes really volatile at this level. Because if I hop over to eBay, I can actually find a version of this book, a copy, being sold. Here you see Captain America Comics #37 and a 0.5 from my comic shop listed at 1920. But when we actually look at this book, what do we notice? Well, the entire front cover is basically torn off and we're missing Captain America right there on the page. So not all 0.5s are made the same. Similarly, it's missing pages 15 through 17, a panel is cut out, etc. And you can see all kind of the damages and everything going on there. But the point I'm sort of making is that, if you have a buyer, it's just looking at the book and says, and I have mine listed at $2,000 and mine's a 0.5. And then they say to me, well, hey, there's another 0.5 that is 1920 listed on eBay. Or maybe even worse, let's say somebody actually does buy this book. They buy this thing for a best offer and they get it for $1,500. Well, what's going to happen? Over on GPA, in the 0.5 category where we see my copy that says centerfold missing, incomplete, 1980. Well, another one will pop up right here. Maybe it'll be in the incomplete section and it'll show, $1,500. And overall, that's going to kind of adjust, the perceived value of the book at this level. And I'm sharing all this because generally speaking, when people do their calculations of what they think a book is valued at or whatever, and they want to make a buy and they're trying to make, say, an offer on your book, if you ever go to sell it, they're just going to take a quick snapshot at what the numbers are. And they're not as often going to say, well, the reason that this book, cost this is because it had cream pages, or the reason that this book cost this is because it was missing the back cover. All these, other variables should come into play, but don't often do. And this is one of the, risks when you're kind of buying at this particular level, as far as the low grade entry point. There's definitely a big delta. There's definitely a lot of variability as to why a book might get a higher or a lower price. And that's just something that you have to be mindful of when you are either a seller or a buyer in that situation. Now, my copy versus this one may not be the best example of this, but another one that I just kind of pulled up before we did the video was, just to kind of drill this point home, was something I found here in X-Men #1. I mean, I just went over here and figured I could find a good example of this. So I just pulled up a bunch of 1.5 sales. And if you look at it, you see the 1.5 going for 4,038 /39 /4,000, 4,039, 4,000. So pretty consistent. And then you see this one stick out right here, 2704. And what happens when you actually click on it and look at it? Well, you can actually see, I mean, it's got mold, it's very visually unappealing, and it makes sense as to why this one would be, you know, $1,300 less than the next copy, even though this is a 1.5 grade. But one of the issues here is that if you go into GPA and you go down to the 1.5, you know, this number just gets swallowed up with the rest of the numbers. You just look at it and you can see that, yeah, the $2,700 one is listed right there, but all the other sales are 4,000, 4,000, 38, 38, 38, 41, and then here's another 35, which this one I couldn't find on Go Collect. But, you know, generally speaking, all of these numbers are 4,000 to 38, yet the average is 37. So underneath, you know, the general average. And the reason is because it got pulled down by this 27, and then maybe this 3,500 was, you know, someone just got a really, really good deal. But it's getting pulled down by this very, very ugly version of this book. And again, I'm kind of showing this as an example to bring it back to the main point, which is to say, you know, when you're buying here at the low grade, it can be risky, you know, because you have all these other, you know, ugly copies or ones that are not desirable that might be pulling down the value of the nice presenting one that you got for yourself, which ultimately is kind of how I feel about the one that I got, which is a very, very nice presenting copy, albeit a 0.5. Of Captain America, number 37. What a great cover. Still happy to add to my collection. Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think about timely books? I mean, I feel like I have to do another series just talking about timely Captain America stuff. I mean, we always talk about it when we do the live streams and, you know, we're watching heritage auctions and, you know, covering those things. I still think that this was a good price overall, you know, for this particular presenting copy of this book. Really hard to, you know, buy into this book regardless. I mean, the 3.0 copies, like I was saying, are already selling for $9,000. So, you know, the entry level into this, even at like a 1.0 copy, I'm sure would be $5,000 or so. So I still think that this was a pretty good buy considering that the cover presents so nicely. And really, at the end of the day, the cover is really why people like to have these books. But that's all I got for this one. Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think about low-grade deltas and the risk that comes with buying those low-grade comic books? Because, you know, sometimes they have faded covers, sometimes they have mold on them, sometimes they have, you know, flaws that really pull down their fair market values. Anyways, that's all right for this one. That was me sharing my new book to my collection. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next video.